Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsy69. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be looking at what I think are the best buffs of 2021. Yes, 2021's best buffs. And now there are a few buffs, but I've just whittled it down to just 5 what I think are the best. You guys can agree, you can disagree. If you disagree, let me know in the comments what you think the best buff of 2021 was. Now we're going to start off with the IS-7. Now you know the meme. You know the meme, don't buy IS-7. Pretty much started by Angel, mainly because of the ammo rack. It was a very difficult tank to play, but it recently got the PBR files. Now that PBR files pretty much gave it a secret buff, and now it really is a strong tank. I would always recommend an IS-4 over an IS-7, but now with this new PBR files, this buff, this update, definitely I would recommend the IS-7. Next tank on the list, I have got the TOG. Yes, the TOG has received a few buffs over the last year or so, and what a tank this now is. This is so underrated, and I mean, people don't like the TOG anyway because of just how slow it is, but they really underestimate the tank. Now the TOG got a speed buff and it got an armor buff, and that literally has just made the tank insane, along with the DPM that it's got, the rate of fire, the hit points that it's got for a tier freaking 6 tank is absolutely incredible. And now you can bounce shots. You can comfortably bounce shots, especially if you're like side scraping, or sometimes you don't even need to be side scraping. Look at this guy here, he's bounced almost 1,000 hit points. This is something that you could never previously do in a TOG. The TOG was always known just for the hit points and the DPM, but now it's known to go just a little bit more quicker, not much quicker, but it still goes quicker, and it can bounce shots doing so. So definitely one of my favorite buffs over the last year, because I love the TOG anyway. So to get a buff from this tank on 2 things that it struggled with, amazing. Next tank, please, is the Tiger 2. The Tiger 2 over the last few years has just been getting buffed and buffed. They've recently buffed the armor profile, and they have, I can't remember what else they buffed, but it was literally like an update or 2 ago where they gave it more armor, and I think they gave it sort of more turret armor. It's just been buffed and buffed over the last couple of years, and it is absolutely an insane tank now. You can see here we've bounced 1200 damage, and we're even going to bounce a little bit more, even face hugging pretty much this guy. So 1600 block damage, nice and easy. The tank still struggles when people shoot you with premium ammo, but overall a very good buff that I don't even think it needed. Next tank, please, the Centurion 7-1. Now again, this is also one of my favorite buffs of the year. It's always been known to be a fantastic tank. Now I love this tank because of the Hesh. I love the FV4202 because of the Hesh. Now both of these tanks go 10 kilometers per hour quicker. Now that actually means the FV4202 goes over 60 kilometers per hour, and the Centurion goes around 50 kilometers per hour. The only downfall about this tank was that speed, but now it goes 50 kilometers per hour. It's got a turret, and it's even getting buffed next month as well with the turret. It is a fantastic tank. It's all about the Hesh. If you can get that Hesh out, you are doing over 4,000 DPM. And of course, because of the Hesh, it has that high penetration, like really high penetration. And because of the buffs of this tank, it's now made this tank one of my favorite tier 9s in the game. So I love a good buff. I love this buff. And again, I think it is one of the best buffs of the year. Moving on to the next tank, we're looking at the M48 Pattern. Now, the M48 Pattern has always been a pretty solid tank, but really it can't keep up. It hasn't been able to keep up with the other medium tanks in tier 10. They are all about DPM. All the medium tanks are pretty much about DPM, where the Pattern wasn't about DPM. It was about that raw armor that it's got, the turret armor, the gun depression, and it lacked on DPM. Well, Wargaming buffed the DPM, and now it can compete with those of the other medium tanks. It got around 300 to 400 DPM more, which now brings it in line with all the other medium tanks in this in tier 10. And of course, it still has that turret armor and it still has that gun depression. Now it is an absolutely fantastic tank. If you can get on a ridgeline, you can bully tanks, and not only do you have to just stay on that ridgeline, but you can now push these medium tanks because you have that DPM. You don't have the armor. I mean, you have weak hull armor, but it's all about holding the ridge lines. If you can get on a map like Dead Rail or Mines, then yeah, hold that ridge line, use the gun depression, and you will get bounces in this thing. And when the time's right, you can now bully those other tanks, the other medium tanks, because you have that DPM. So these are pretty much my best buffs of the year. What are your best buffs? Do you have any tanks out there that you didn't like, but over the last year that they've been buffed and now you like them? Let me know in the comments below your favorite buffs of this year. And in the meantime, we're going to be talking about this battle and about being patient. Patient was what changed the outcome of this game. Now it's a 3 versus 4. All three of us don't really have the hit points. I mean, I'm a one shot. We do have a grill, and we have an object 263. Now we were winning on supremacy points. Now the enemy do now have 2 cap bases, but we couldn't really rush because of the hit points. You can see all those hit points, the Badger, the Jaegeru, the T57 Heavy, they all have a lot of hit points. So the only thing we could really do is wait for them to start pushing us. And we waited and waited and waited, and actually we waited for quite a long time, and it got boring. It did start to get boring, but I wasn't going to push knowing that I'm a one shot. But we just waited and we were patient, and the patience pays off. We managed to clear the mouse. Now, because we cleared the mouse, even though we only have 1 supremacy base, we are currently still winning on supremacy points. So there's not too much of a rush to get there yet. Now, I was going to start making a push, but what I was actually waiting for here is the 263 to just take out that Badger. But he is struggling. He's bouncing shots. And also I was waiting maybe for the grill to push in as well, because at the minute I can't push in because I know that there's a T57 around here somewhere, and I don't want to just go out and get killed, because then that would probably mean it will be a loss. So we're just waiting, and you can see the grill here now. Fuck it, he's going for it, which is absolutely perfect for me. And finally, the object 263 is going to take out the Badger, and that could be a game changing thing to happen. Taking out that Badger could be a game changer, because it now means it is a 3 versus 2. Yes, we're all one shots to this Jaegeru, but when 3 tanks come at you, then there's really not too much you can do. And you can just see his hit points are just bleeding. Now, I did leave this a little bit late to start pushing, because I didn't even realize the T57 was capping A. If I would have realized and just looked instead of trying to focus on the Jaegeru, I would have pushed a lot sooner. So the enemy now have 3 bases, but you know, at this point we're just going to head towards the caps. I mean, we've already got D, we're getting C, and I'm just going to head towards B. There's B. My mistake. There's no point pushing in at this point, so we're just going to wait. Of course, the enemy does have that base A, and we're just waiting to see where he comes. Is he going to come from the left, or is he going to come from the right? And there we go, the T57. Now we're able to get some side shots, and you could just see his hit points absolutely bleed, and all 3 of us even managed to stay alive. So the patience pays off. I'm not a patient player. I hate being patient, but being patient, this battle actually changed the outcome and won us this game, and that was actually a nice win. We managed to only bounce 700 damage there, but we managed to get 4.5k damage. We managed to get the ace as well, and that was actually a very nice battle. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Like I said, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What are your favorite buffs of this year? I'm meadsy69, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye bye.
With